But I want to talk about this great migration, as you call it. I mean, I've seen for months a lot of people talking about that with everything that's kind of taken place over the last year, you could see the population of the United States moving around a little bit. There could be some trends there. So maybe now that things are starting to recover a little bit, maybe we're starting to see some of those trends. What are you seeing? Where is this migration coming from?
I mean, this is the craziest thing. I mean, it is almost like somebody just got out their pen and drew a bullseye, a very large bullseye, as a matter of fact, on North Carolina. I mean, it is unbelievable. We are bringing new owners in from California, Colorado, D.C., even North Dakota. I really only know one place in North Dakota, Fargo, but there's another town there, evidently, because these people are moving from it.
Yes, there's a few.
That's right. Virginia, Florida, Texas, New Jersey. I mean, and that's all just this week. That is just this week, the conversations and people that we're talking to. And so, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we're seeing really kind of a mix of kind of every reason under the sun. Multiple people have stated to us now that their employer has officially, commissioned them as permanently work from home, 100%. And so they're like, well, if we can live anywhere, we're going to retire and move to North Carolina. Why don't I finish out my career working with the company I'm working that may be based out of, like in one example, these folks are from Colorado. That's where they work. That's where their office is. But they are free to go wherever. They always wanted to move to North Carolina and retire here. And so they're going to do that and finish out the last, 7, 8, 10 years of their work career right here in North Carolina. So they're getting a head start on really kind of what their final goal was. Retiring. Got a lot of people that specifically are retiring to North Carolina. Definitely seeing some job relocation, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the folks we're talking to up north are just escaping the city life and somewhat looking for a slower pace, but really what they're telling us is we're kind of escaping the city life because the city life no longer exists. What we were so used to and what we loved about the big city hasn't come back. And so they're like, well, why are we here? We can't enjoy what we used to enjoy. It's expensive as could be,
mm-hmm.
and we're not having any fun because they've just lost that. They've lost the vibe. They just lost the whole atmosphere, and in value. Hey, believe it or not, even though home prices have went up considerably in the Triad, we are still really one of the most affordable places in the United States of America. Right here in the Triad, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, and all our little surrounding 36 little towns and municipalities. Still very, very good place to live from an affordability standpoint. Cost of living is very desirable for most people moving from these areas. Of course, our housing market has improved, but it's still considerably less than some of these other areas. Quality of life, the schools, we're getting a lot of comments about our certain school districts and the attraction that the people maybe that are parents that are moving here for their children. And I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Here's the really cool thing: these are pretty high equity buyers moving in. I'm talking 20% to 50% down because their markets were considerably more expensive than ours. Their home values have really improved, and even in some areas even more so than they have here in the Triad. And so they're coming here with a considerable amount of equity to put down on your house. So, some really, really neat new additions. I think these are some good people. At least the people we've been talking to seem to be just like they're our kind of folks. You know what I mean? It's like they fit the mesh of the Triad. Super nice. They're coming our way, and we're going to do our very best to get them in front of your home. Well, one thing we just need to talk about here in a little bit is we need your house. We need you. We need you to consider selling your house because they all don't want to move here to an apartment, and they all can't live under the bridge. They need somewhere to go.
We don't have enough bridges to house them all.
We do not. We do not. And some really cool things too, Keith. I'm seeing like multiple people we've talked to, like specializing in some pretty cool tech. So I guess maybe some of the tech companies are like, okay, it's work from home, so work where you want. And here's the other thing, compensation. We're seeing some of these approval letters come in, some pretty high income earners, which I believe, it's going to help boost our economy. Typically, no matter what, it's America, right? The more you make, the more you spend.
Yeah.
And so, my hope is that helps our restaurant communities and our small business owners out here, and so we get that influx of new people moving into the Triad, and so I don't know. I'm excited. It's been a really good week talking to a lot of great people.